Captain Jake Morrison stood in the Nevada desert, observing the alien vessel descend. The colossal craft, a dark metal behemoth with unsettling markings, filled his eyes with unease. 3 months since humanity learned of extraterrestrial life, Dr. Lisa Blake, First Contact's lead scientist, remarked, adjusting her tablet. Now the Vorac are here. Commander Ryan Hall double-checked his weaponry. Warriors for a peaceful encounter. Easy, Ryan, Ambassador Kate Sullivan soothed. They think we need protection, like children unable to care for themselves. The ship touched down, kicking up sandstorms. The desert air, exceeding 100 degrees, offered ideal July weather. A hiss of steam accompanied the ramp's descent. The first alien, towering at 7 feet with green scales and yellow eyes, materialized. Muscles rippled beneath armor seemingly impervious to tank fire. More aliens, weaponry at the ready, followed, their demeanor suggestive of anticipated conflict. "I am High Commander Zdar of the Vorac Empire," the first alien announced through a translation device. "I have come to establish Federation protocols." Jake stepped forward. "Welcome to Earth. I'm Captain Morrison. This is Dr. Blake, Commander Hall, and Ambassador Sullivan." Zdar's yellow eyes, scanning the humans and surrounding desert, reflected confusion. "Why this wasteland? Were your people exiled?" Dr. Blake smiled. "This isn't a wasteland. It's just one of Earth's environments. We have many." "Many?" asked the smaller alien medical officer, Grixel. "You live in multiple environments," Jake confirmed. "People live everywhere on Earth. Deserts, mountains, forests, islands. Even the cold regions near the poles." Grixel pulled out a scanner, focusing on the humans. Blips and beeps illuminated the device. "Commander," he reported quietly. "Their biology shows adaptation to extreme conditions." Zdar, however, remained unmoved. "We must discuss your planet's protection status. The Federation has assigned us to oversee your species until you're ready to join galactic society." Sullivan, maintaining her composure, but displaying barely contained annoyance, replied, "We appreciate the Federation's concern, but we've taken care of ourselves for quite some time." Zdar countered. "All primitive species believe they're capable. That is why protection is necessary." Dr. Blake displayed Earth's data. "Would you like details? Our gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared. Atmospheric pressure, 101.3 kilopascals. Oxygen comprises 21% of our air." Grixel's scanner rapidly pulsed. "Commander, these conditions would prove fatal to most Federation species." "What is your temperature range?" asked Seth, trying to appear nonchalant. "Currently, approximately 110 degrees Fahrenheit, or 43 degrees Celsius. Winters reach minus 40 degrees in some locations," Jake explained. "Humans live in extremes." The Vorac medical officer's scanner was now a blur of activity. "Commander, I recommend conducting our business from orbit," Grixel urged. "Nonsense," retorted Zdar, but beads of sweat appeared on his scales. "We are Vorac warriors. We fear no primitive worlds," Commander Hall countered. "Primitive. We've mapped every inch of this planet, built cities and thrived in deserts, jungles, mountains, and Arctic regions. Humans scale the highest peaks and swim in deadly cold water for recreation." Zdar shook his head. "Impossible. No species could survive such extremes." Dr. Blake perused her data. "Your species comes from a world with stable temperature, low gravity, and thick atmosphere. Very comfortable." "Comfort is not weakness," defended the alien commander. "We'd love to show you around Earth. A cultural exchange," Sullivan interjected smoothly. Jake watched the aliens converse, catching words suggesting death world and impossible. Finally, Zdar addressed the humans. "Very well. A full survey of your environments will inform our protection protocols." "Excellence," Sullivan affirmed. Tours are arranged for various regions: mountains, forests, oceans, cities. The aliens' journey into Earth continued. The Vorac delegation, stiffly seated in the air-conditioned transport, watched the desert pass. Humans outside, toiling under the intense heat, were a puzzle. Construction workers, road crews, ordinary individuals, all seemingly indifferent to the harsh environment. Grixel's analysis detailed the desert's diverse and dangerous flora and fauna. Humans don't seem to care, live and work here. Some even enjoy these environments. Sethar questioned the Federation's classification of Earth as a garden world for primitive life. The humans' confidence, their lack of fear in a dangerous setting, suggested something more formidable. "Should I report this to the Federation?" asked the young scout. "Not yet," Sethar decided. "More information is needed for the true evaluation." The Vorac warriors were on Earth for a tour, but also were seeing the first hints of a far greater truth than they imagined. A rattlesnake, venomous, offered a warning before striking. Poison ivy, a cause of painful skin rashes, was another example. "You catalogue your planet's harmful elements?" Wellness inquired. Amy, perplexed, replied that those were natural components, studied to ensure safe coexistence. Sethar grasped a troubling implication. Humans encountered these dangers regularly. Outdoorsy individuals, he was informed, encountered hazardous wildlife, making safety training crucial. Schoolchildren learned these precautions. The tour led to a campsite where families prepared for a night's stay. The Vorac, horrified, observed children in clear view of predators, toxins, and environmental risks. "They sleep openly, unprotected," Grix voiced concern. Tony assured them the humans had tents and secure food supplies, basic precautions. A small child approached Tony, excitedly recounting seeing a wolf pack hunt elk. Emma, the child's parent, confirmed that the family adhered to safety advice, using binoculars for observation at a distance. The Vorac, observing the incident, noticed a child viewing nature as entertainment. "Children love the outdoors," Tony rationalized, explaining that wolves provided a spectacle worth enjoying safely. The next day, the Vorac flew to Hawaii. Amy Patterson coordinated a trip to view ocean life. The weather was perfect. The Pacific Ocean, home to significant marine threats, great whites, tiger sharks, Portuguese man-of-war, and other perilous creatures, encircled the islands. Surfers, seen playfully riding waves, were observed by alien scanners detecting perilous marine life and strong currents capable of jeopardizing their protective armor. "Humans willingly enter the water," noted Velma in hushed tones. Surfing was a popular pastime, drawing people worldwide. One man, paddling towards catastrophically dangerous waves, caught and conquered them, riding towards the coast at high speed. His simple wetsuit provided minimal warmth. Another surfer met a turbulent end, promptly resurfacing and swimming ashore, laughing. At an aquarium, Amy effortlessly handled venomous creatures, dangerous octopuses, sharp-toothed fish, creatures with lethal spines, leaving the Vorac observers speechless. They watched, awestruck, as a human handled a supremely toxic sea creature. Later, on a hotel balcony, families were seen having fun on the lower shore, as children were building sandcastles and parents swam in waters teeming with predators. Sethar conveyed his insight about human resilience to the Federation. Grixel analyzed human physiology, revealing extraordinary bone density, muscle mass, reaction times, and healing rates, suggesting either genetic enhancements or extreme environmental adaptation. He noted the effortless disregard shown by humans towards substantial dangers in the ocean, on the mountains, and in the air. This observation led to the conclusion that humans might be a unique, resilient species, possessing inherent survival capabilities from a challenging environment. Sethar requested reinforcements and analysis to confirm a complete assessment. The Vorac Empire's pinnacle warrior, War Master Cronus, was questioned about humanity's survivability capabilities. The human delegation, led by Colonel Wright and a battlefield-scarred Sergeant Brooks, was informed of the requirement of an accurate military evaluation. A survival exercise, proposed by Cronus, was set in the Colorado mountains. Cronus insisted on a severe test of survival, choosing a snow-capped peak as the test site, expecting immense struggle for unknown survival abilities in the challenging environmental conditions. Ben Carter, a civilian mountain guide, volunteered for the test, expressing a fond desire to show his skill capabilities. The test began at dawn. Vorac warriors clad in high-tech gear against the basic, yet efficient, attire for their human counterparts. The aliens were impressed by the human adaptability, particularly Ben Carter's prowess. As the weather turned severe, a fierce storm engulfed the mountain, demanding ingenuity to survive and test the endurance capabilities of both sides involved. Once again, the humans' adaptability and teamwork shone through as they efficiently constructed sheltered abodes, enabling them to endure the harsh conditions. The Vorac warriors, constrained by their equipment, struggled greatly, underscoring the human approach to the challenge. The second day brought an avalanche. The experience prompted Zdar to recognize that humans might be the most dangerous species in the galaxy, yet unaware of their own potency. A section of the mountainside crumbled with a thunderous roar. Tons of snow and rock cascaded toward their camp. The Vorac froze in terror, but the humans reacted instantly. "Avalanche!" Brooks shouted. "Everyone down!" The humans flattened themselves, covering their heads. They knew exactly what to do. The snow engulfed them, but their campsite had been well chosen. Most of the debris swirled around them. When the snow subsided, 2 Vorac warriors lay buried. Condis activated his emergency beacon to summon orbital rescue, but the humans were already moving. Ben Carter had pulled out a peculiar device. "Avalanche beacons," he explained. "Standard equipment for mountain rescue." The humans worked with incredible speed and precision. They located the buried warriors, dug them out, and checked for injuries. The entire rescue took less than 20 minutes. "How?" Cronus asked. "How did you do that so fast?" "Practice," Brooks replied. "Mountain rescue is serious business. Every second counts." Dr. Foster arrived by helicopter an hour later. She treated the injured Vorac in conditions that Healer Grix declared impossible for medical work. Wind, snow, freezing temperatures, and unstable ground. "Just another day in Colorado," she remarked, attending to wounds and checking for concussions. "You should see what we handled during ski season." That evening, back at base camp, Cronus sat alone, reflecting on what he had witnessed. His warriors, the finest the galaxy had ever produced, had been helpless in situations that ordinary human civilians handled routinely. "War Master," Velnus said quietly, "I have studied human military history, and they wage war in environments our warriors would perish in before the conflict even began. Desert heat, Arctic cold, jungle humidity, mountain altitudes. They adapt to anything." Kundis reviewed the data again. Every reading confirmed what he had been unwilling to accept. Humans were physically superior to Vorac in every measurable way. Stronger, faster, more adaptable, more resilient. But it went further. They collaborated flawlessly under pressure. They turned seemingly impossible situations into manageable tasks. They met perilous challenges with calm competence. "Sir," Velnus continued, "what if the Federation is wrong about Earth being a garden world?" Cronus thought about the bear that had wandered into their camp that morning. The humans had barely looked up from their breakfast. To them, sharing space with a creature capable of killing a Vorac warrior was entirely normal. "Send a classified message to the Federation High Command," he ordered. "What should it say?" Cronus carefully crafted his words. "Recommend immediate reclassification of the human homeworld. Current threat assessment protocols are inadequate. Threat level: The War Master watched Colonel Wright and his team pack their gear. They were laughing, likely planning their next adventure in what the galaxy considered a death world. Unknown, Cronus finally stated, but far higher than anyone could have imagined. He didn't tell Velnus his true suspicion, that humanity wasn't simply another species. They were apex survivors, from the most dangerous world in known space, and the Federation had invited them into galactic civilization. The galaxy was about to change forever. Supreme Commander Thexera, who had led the Federation military for over 2 centuries, had witnessed countless species rise and fall, conquered innumerable worlds, and faced every challenge the galaxy had thrown at her. She didn't believe War Master Cronus's reports about Earth. Impossible, she declared to the Federation High Command. No species could evolve such capabilities on a single world. The reports are consistent, Councillor Prime Zalana said. Perhaps we should investigate personally. Thexera resolved to conduct a comprehensive planetary analysis. This charade must end. She arrived on Earth, leading the Federation's most advanced assessment team, composed of scientists, military analysts, and medical specialists, equipped with the latest technology. They would prove that humans were just another primitive species in need of guidance. Fleet Admiral Sarah Mitchell met them at the landing site. Supreme Commander, welcome to Earth. I'm afraid you've arrived at a busy time. Busy? Thexera inquired. Natural disasters. An earthquake struck California this morning. A hurricane is making landfall in Florida. Wildfires are raging across Australia. Quite the typical week, really. Thexera was bewildered. You do not evacuate during planetary catastrophes. Admiral Mitchell looked puzzled. Evacuate? This is our planet. We deal with problems, not run from them. The Supreme Commander watched news feeds of these disasters. Her military sensors classified each event as an extinction-level threat. But instead of fleeing, humans were rushing toward the danger zones. They are moving toward the catastrophes, observed her tactical officer. Rescue operations, Admiral Mitchell explained. People need help. We provide it. Chief Engineer Rick Anderson was coordinating disaster response from a mobile command center. He navigated multiple crisis zones, directing resources and personnel with calm efficiency. 6.2 earthquake, he reported to his team. Collapsed buildings in downtown Los Angeles. Search and rescue teams are deploying. Medical stations will be operational in 30 minutes. Thexera watched through her ship's sensors as thousands of humans rushed into areas her computer classified as uninhabitable. They worked in conditions that would kill most Federation species within minutes. How do they survive this? She asked. Training, equipment, and experience, Admiral Mitchell replied. Los Angeles sits on active fault lines. Earthquakes are part of life here. We're prepared for them. Captain Pete Johnson piloted rescue missions through the hurricane, navigating winds Federation atmospheric craft couldn't handle. He made 17 trips, rescuing people from flooded areas and collapsed buildings. Is he enhanced? She asked, observing the impossible flight. No, he's simply a skilled pilot. Been flying rescue missions for 20 years. Grew up in tornado country, so bad weather doesn't bother him much. Dr. Maria Santos performed surgery in a field hospital set up in the earthquake zone. Aftershocks continued, rattling the medical equipment, but she never stopped working. 43 surgeries in 18 hours, she reported to her medical team. 2 more patients coming in, prep or 3. Thexera's medical officer was horrified. She's operating while the ground trembles, with debris falling around her. Dr. Santos is one of our finest trauma surgeons, Admiral Mitchell stated proudly. She's worked in war zones, disaster areas, and emergency situations globally. It takes more than an earthquake to slow her down. Lieutenant Grace Turner led hazmat teams into toxic areas created by chemical spills from the earthquake. She wore basic protective gear, working in environments that Federation sensors deemed immediately lethal. Acid leak contained, she reported calmly. Moving to the next site. Should have this cleaned up by tomorrow. Tomorrow. Thexera's environmental specialist was processing impossible figures. Those toxin levels would kill our teams in protective suits within hours. Grace has been doing hazmat work since college, Admiral Mitchell explained. Chemical spills, radiation leaks, biological contamination. She's seen it all. The hurricane unleashed its own terrors. Storm surges flooded coastal cities, winds tore apart buildings, and rain fell in sheets, reducing visibility to zero. Coast Guard rescue teams worked tirelessly. Category 4 hurricane, Admiral Mitchell observed, reviewing reports. Could have been worse. Worse. Thexera couldn't believe what she was seeing. Your people work in these conditions routinely. Weather happens. People get caught in it. We go get them. Meanwhile, in Australia, firefighters battled blazes across millions of acres. They worked in temperatures exceeding 120 degrees Fahrenheit, breathing smoke that would choke most Federation species, surrounded by flames that turned the landscape to ash. Just another fire season, a firefighter reported over the radio. Could use some rain, but we'll get it contained. Thexera studied Earth's environmental history. What she found changed everything. This planet experiences regular catastrophic events, she told her analysis team. Earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, fires, volcanic eruptions, ice ages. The entire surface is unstable. Yes, ma'am. And humans have built civilizations amidst these hazard zones. They live where the disasters occur. Humans seem to prefer dangerous locations. Major cities built on fault lines, in hurricane zones near active volcanoes. They call them beautiful places, with character. Chief Engineer Anderson joined their briefing via video link. Supreme Commander, he said, Admiral Mitchell tells me you're studying our disaster response. I'm trying to understand how your species survives these conditions. Rick laughed. We don't just survive, we thrive. Earth keeps trying to kill us, so we got good at staying alive. Makes us tough, creative, and cooperative. You consider planetary catastrophes normal. Sure, earthquakes built our mountains. Hurricanes bring rain to our farms. Volcanoes make fertile soil. Wildfires clear old growth for new forests. It's all part of the cycle. Thexera stared at him. You see death and destruction as beneficial. We see challenge and opportunity. Every disaster teaches us something, makes us better prepared for the next one. That night, Thexera reviewed all the data. Earth wasn't a garden world. It was the most dangerous planet in Federation space. Its unstable geology, violent weather, toxic environment, deadly wildlife, and regular catastrophic events were undeniable. Humans hadn't merely existed, they thrived, transforming a world of death into a flourishing civilization. They defied galactic precedent. Thexera, issuing an urgent transmission to the Federation Council, declared, "Content, ma'am." Her carefully chosen words would alter galactic history. Species classification error, the message stated. Humans are not a protected civilization. They are apex survivors from a Class 12 death world. Recommend immediate Protocol 7 implementation. Protocol 7, her officer queried. Ma'am, that protocol is reserved for species threatening Federation security. Thexera agreed, observing humans' remarkable feats in conditions that decimated armies. They aren't dangerous out of malevolence, but rather because their exceptional capabilities render others inadequate. Data revealed each human was a marvel of adaptability and resilience. Faced with insurmountable odds, they retained calm competence, unyielding in their refusal to yield. The galaxy is poised to witness what transpires when evolution occurs on a planet, relentlessly attempting to eliminate its inhabitants, she murmured. What transpires? You become invincible. Thexera watched Dr. Santos's meticulous surgery as the Earth quaked. The Federation Council confronted an unprecedented crisis. For the first time, a species transitioned from protected to potential threat. The emergency session brought representatives from across known space. "The motion before us," declared the presiding councillors, "is immediate quarantine of the Sol system, pending further evaluation." A Catherian representative seconded the motion. "These humans are demonstrably too dangerous for standard protocols." Zelenor countered, "We will not imprison a species for its competence. Instead, we extend an invitation for human representatives to address this council directly." Silence descended upon the chamber. Never before had a creature from a death world been admitted to Federation headquarters. President Kevin Moore led the human delegation, flanked by Admiral Lisa Thompson and Dr. Andrew Phillips, bearing humanity's response to the Federation's concerns. Hundreds of UAT worlds were represented in the vast chamber, most encountering humans for the first time. Anxious observation followed the delegation's progress to the podium. "Honourable councillors," Moore began, "we arrive not as conquerors or threats, but as neighbours, eager to forge peaceful relationships." An Altarian representative interrupted. "Your world has been reclassified as a Class 12 death world." Dr. Phillips countered. "Our scientists declare it uninhabitable, but your classification system lacks depth. You base world ratings on danger to your species, ignoring the potential for species evolution in those perilous environments." Employing a holographic display, he showcased Earth's environment, detailing frequent catastrophic events. Earth endures regular earthquakes, hurricanes, volcanic eruptions, ice ages, and meteor impacts. "Most species reckon this as a hellish existence, yet you thrive on Earth," remarked a Centurion delegate. "We don't simply endure, we excel," Admiral Thompson affirmed. "Earth taught us that impossible conditions are merely problems needing resolutions." A Vorac representative questioned their capabilities, to which Dr. Phillips replied, "Our capabilities exceed your strongest warriors, because our warriors faced the trials of early life on Earth," adding that every human had navigated challenges that would test elite units. Zelenor asked, "What propositions do you make?" Moore smiled. "Partnership. You possess knowledge, technology, and fertile worlds. We boast the experience of surviving impossible situations. Combined, our efforts can achieve remarkable outcomes." An Andromedan representative inquired for examples. Admiral Thompson unveiled a holographic display. 3 months prior, the Kepler colony faced utter system failure. Federation rescue ships were too late. Human volunteers, with simple equipment, saved all the colonists. This incident, previously deemed unsolvable by Federation standards, was attributed to Lieutenant Commander Jack Roberts, a 26-year-old Academy graduate. Dr. Phillips further detailed how human trauma surgeons performed miraculous feats in situations that baffled Federation medical protocols. Engineers innovated structures and environments that challenged their species, and rescue teams handled conditions that paralyzed Federation units. A draconian delegate offended, challenged. "Are you asserting human superiority?" Moore corrected. "Not superiority, but distinction. Earth sculpted us into problem solvers. We view obstacles as challenges, not impediments." Texara entered the chamber. "I have observed humans in their natural habitat. They seek not conflict, but decline defeat. This renders them uniquely valuable to the Federation." In response to Zelenor's query about its value, Texara elaborated, referencing disaster relief, extreme environment operations, impossible rescues, and situations where Federation forces consistently failed. With this, she appealed for human training programs for Federation military units. The chamber erupted in surprise. The Federation's supreme military commander sought help from the species they had planned to protect. Dr. Emma Clark, Earth's xenopsychologist, detailed the psychological divergence. "Humans consider the universe a challenging arena, not a hostile one. This perspective allows their remarkable efficacy." The Raelian delegate asked, "What do you require?" "Knowledge. Your sciences, history, and cultures," replied Dr. Phillips. "We seek to learn and contribute, Admiral Thompson smiled. In return, we'll teach anyone the art of converting insurmountable situations into solvable problems. Unanimously, the Federation voted to establish Earth as its first extreme environment training hub. 6 months later, High Commander Zdar donned survival gear on a Norwegian cliff, witnessing mixed human-alien teams operating in Arctic conditions that would have been fatal to his warriors before human training. "Mission successful. All civilians evacuated," replied Scout Velm, while Zadar smiled. Their combined efforts had altered the Federation approach to crises, as human instructors molded alien units into skilled troops ready to address any challenge. Earth's acclaim reverberated throughout known space. Stories from the world that spawned a species of natural problem solvers spread. President Moore, reviewing galactic reports from his office, noted human teams saving lives, creating cities in hazardous locations, and turning impossible situations into triumphs. Ambassador Kate Sullivan relayed a message from the Outer Rim. The Andrillian system faced imminent solar flares. They requested human, not Federation, disaster response teams. Moore smiled. "Tell them we're en route." The training center hummed with activity. Aliens were learning to be heroes, proving that Earth's greatest gift wasn't technology or weaponry, but hope, the unwavering creed that no obstacle was too immense, nor any situation too challenging. Survival on Earth, after all, meant survival anywhere. The galaxy, too, was embracing this approach. The age of giving up had concluded. The human spirit of enduring hardship had commenced, reshaping the galaxy forever.